Algebra 1 Test Number 11 Study Guide. Number 1, Kendra is buying gifts for 5 friends. She can spend $100 at most. That's the most money she has to spend. She's already spent $23 on one gift, and she's already bought one of them, so she's only got 4 more friends to buy gifts for. If she wants to spend the same amount on each of the 4 other gifts, what can she spend at most on each gift? So it may not be $23. I don't think she's going to be able to spend that much because of the $100 for one of the friends. She's already spent $23. So when I do some subtracting, do a little borrowing here, we get 3 from 10 is 7, and 2 from 9 is going to be 7. So she's only got $77 left to spend on her 4 friends. And she wants to spend the same amount. So let's see what she can spend for them. So 4 into $77 will go 1 time. And then 4 into 37 will go 6 times. Oh, how about 9 times? 36. And then 4 into 10 will go 2 times. And then 4 into 20 will go 5 times. And I don't think you can read that very well, but that's going to be $19.25. So she spent $23 on the first friend, but then the other 4, if she's going to spend evenly for them, then she can only spend $19.25 because that will add up to the $77 that she had left over. Number 2, the box and whisker plot shows the daily wages of a 16-year-old who works at a restaurant. Estimate the lower quartile, the upper quartile, the median, and the interquartile range. Now, it didn't ask for the smallest number, which is 22, and the largest number, which looks like 30, but it asked for the lower quartile, which is this one, and I'll just kind of bring it down to the number line, and this one. And then the median is this one. And then the interquartile range is the length of the box. So we'll need to know our Q sub 1 and our Q sub 3. So on the lower quartile, our measurements are 22 to 24. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units between them. So 23 is going to be, let's see, we've got $22. And we've got, let's see, 1, 2 and a half. So this would be $23 right here. So if this is 23, then this looks like we've got about, it's close to $24, between 20 and 23 and 24. I'm going to estimate it to be about $23 and somewhere around 75 or 80 cents. And that's, again, it just says estimate it. Okay. And then the median is here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So our 24, 1, 2 and a half, 1, 2 and a half. So it's right on the nose of $25. And then I believe this one looks like 1, 2 and a half, 1, 2 and a half. It's going to be right in the middle of the 26 and 28. And so it looks like Q sub 3 is pretty close to $27. Now the interquartile range, and I'm just going to put IQR, is the length of the box, which would be the 27, and I'm going to go ahead and put dollars on that, minus the whatever you estimated this one to be. It's just a little less than $24. So I use 23.80, and so I'm going to bring my decimal point up, subtract, I get 0. Do just a little bit of borrowing. 8 from 10 is 2, 3 from 6 is 3, and then 2 from 2 is 0. So the length of my box, my interquartile range, is $3.20. Number 3, we have to simplify. We have no negative exponents, so it's pretty much just canceling. 18 over 36. 18 will go into 36 2 times. So I've got 1 over 2. I've got 3 x's on top and 5 on the bottom. So when I cancel, I have 2 left on the bottom. I have 2 y's on top and 1 on the bottom, so I'll have 1 left on top. You can leave your 1 off and just say y over 2x squared, or you can, because the 1 is understood there. Either way will be fine. Percent decrease from 24 to 30. Well, that won't make sense because you don't have a percent decrease from 24 to 30. So let's change that to percent increase. So we're going from 24 to 30. So it's the original, it's the change over the original. So the change is 6. And the original one, when it went from 24 to 30, which is 24. And to me, it's easier to write it as a percent. I'm going to go ahead and just reduce it to 1/4, which is 25%. Okay, number 5, we're raising power of a power. So we've got 4 squared. We've got to square everything in here. So we've got 4 squared, which is 16. And then a cubed squared is a cubed times a cubed, which is a to the 6. The shortcut is multiplying those exponents. And b is to the understood 1. So you've got b to the 1 times 2, so that's going to be b squared. Number 6, we're going to put like terms together. It doesn't ask us to put it in descending order, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do that in standard form. I've got my negative 6a cubed and my negative 4a cubed, and I'm going to go ahead and just put those together as negative 10a cubed. And then I've got a negative 5a squared and a positive 7a squared, which will give me a positive 2a squared. It didn't ask me to do standard form, so if you turn that around, it would have been fine. Number 7, we're going to be distributing and then doing some reducing, so I'm going to show both steps. I've got, I'm just going to distribute here, and so I'll just have m squared n cubed over, and I'm going to do them alphabetically so you can kind of see them, and I'll have m times n. And then on the second fraction, I'll have on top 3m squared n squared. And then on the bottom, I'll have m squared n. Now let's see what we can do to reduce it. I can cancel one of my m's here. I'll have an m left on top, 2 on top, 1 on the bottom, and 3 n's and 1 n. So I'll have n squared. I did put my fraction bar there. You can put a 1 under it if you want to. It's actually reduced plus, and then my m squareds are going to cancel, and one of my n's, so I'll have 3n. Number 8, we're going to be simplifying with some variables. We're going to have to move some things because we have some negative exponents. So I'm going to leave my n cubed on top and move my n squared up here with it. I'm going to leave my m squared on the bottom and move my m to the negative 1 down to the bottom as m to the 1. And now I have 5 n's on top, and I have 3 m's on the bottom, and nothing will cancel. Write the polynomial 6x minus 4x squared plus 9 in standard form, and then what's the leading coefficient? So I need to do my degrees. I have degree 1 here, degree 2, and degree 0, so this is my first term. And then my degree 1 would be plus 6x, and then plus 9, and then my leading coefficient, I'm just going to call it LC, would be the negative 4. Number 10, determine the slope of the line that contains these points, negative 6, 8, and 3, negative 4. On top, I'm going to subtract my y's. I'm going to do that over here. So I'm going to start with the 8. And on the bottom, if I start with the 8, I've got to start with the 6. So I'm going to start with a negative 6 minus 3, which will be 8, plus 4, which will be 12, over negative 6 minus 3, which is negative 9. If I divide by 3 over 3, I'll get 4 over 3, and that is negative because I got a positive divided by negative. As long as you put the negative on the top or bottom or up front. Okay, number 11, tell whether this ordered pair is a solution to the system below. Show your work. Now, to be a solution, remember a system is 2 lines, and we want to know if this is where they cross. That's what would be a solution. Well, the only way these can cross at this point is if this is true in both of them. So we do have to check both. So I've got 2 if it doesn't work, if it does work in the first one especially. So I've got 2 times negative 3 plus 1 equals negative 4. So I've got negative 6 plus 1 equals negative 4. So in this case, I've got negative 5 equals negative 4, which is not true, so it's not on this line, so it really won't even matter if it's on this one. You could check it, but if it's not on this one, which actually I believe it is going to be, it's going to be 1 plus 9, which is 10. It is on this line, but it's not on this one, so it couldn't have been the solution to the system because it's not on both lines. Number 12, you've got 2 over 7 is equal to x minus 5 over 35. So I'm going to cross multiply. That's the easiest way to solve it. When I cross multiply, I'm going to go this way first. So I've got 7 times the x minus 5, and I'll distribute that, and then 2 times the 35 here. So now I'll distribute. I get 7x minus 35, and then 2 times 35 is 70. Let's add 35 to both sides. And I get 7x is equal to 105. Divide by 7. And 7 goes into 105 one time. And 5 times, so x is equal to 15.